So if you've ever done any kind of gig work, you definitely know the feeling. You finish your day, you pop open the app, and you see that number. And it feels good, right? It feels like a win. But what if that number isn't telling you the whole story? What if it's actually hiding the most important part of your earnings?
See, the most important question isn't how much did I make today, it's how much did I actually keep? That screen, it shows you your revenue, sure, but it doesn't show you your profit. And the gap between those two numbers, well, that's where your real money either is or where it's just silently disappearing.
You know, the craziest thing is how these costs hide in plain sight. I love this analogy. Your car's value is like a bar of soap. Every single trip you take, it gets a tiny bit smaller. You don't really notice it at first, but after hundreds of trips, you suddenly look down and realize, hey, there's not much left.
To really get our heads around this, we actually need to take a step back and look at how we got here. Because while the technology has changed, it's changed dramatically from the past to the present, and it's about to change again, the basic economic truth of it all has stayed, well, surprisingly the same.
And this chart, man, it just lays it all out, plain and simple. Doesn't matter if we're talking about a classic taxi driver hailing a fare, a driver working for a fleet, today's platform driver, or even a future robo-taxi owner, just look at that last column. The way you get the work changes, but who pays for the car? It's always the owner.
Think about it. We've basically just swapped a person on a phone for a super smart algorithm on a server. But the most important part of the financial equation, who foots the bill for the wear and tear, for the tires, for the oil changes, that hasn't changed one bit. The cost just follows the car. Okay, so now let's actually roll up our sleeves and do the math that, honestly, most people just don't do. We're going to build a really clear picture of what it actually costs to run a vehicle per kilometer. This is how you find out what every single click on the odometer is costing you.
We'll start with the obvious one. Fuel. Of course. It's the cost you see, the one you feel every time you're at the pump. So in our example here, for an average car in city traffic, that works out to be about 10 cents per kilometer. Simple enough. But trust me, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Okay, next up, maintenance. And we're not just talking about oil changes. This is everything. Filters, fluids, brakes, all the stuff you have to do to keep a car running safely. And when you break that down per kilometer, that's another 3 cents. It seems small, but it adds up trip after trip after trip.
And hey, what about tires? You can't forget the tires. A new set can cost a small fortune, and if you're driving for a living, you are burning through them way faster than a normal driver. So when you spread that cost out, it adds another cent and a half to every single kilometer you drive.
All right, so we've got fuel, we've got maintenance, we've got tires. But none of those, and I mean none of them, is the biggest expense. The most massive cost is the one you can't even see. It's the one that's working in the background, just like that shrinking bar of soap.
This is the big one. Depreciation. This is the actual value your car loses just by having more kilometers on it. For a pretty typical vehicle being used for gig work, this can be a jaw-dropping 25 cents per kilometer. It is, by a huge margin, the single biggest operating cost, and it's totally invisible day to day.
So let's add it all up. You take the fuel, the maintenance, the tires, and that monster depreciation cost, and what do you get? In our example, the true cost to operate this car is around 40 cents for every single kilometer. All of a sudden, the money you make per kilometer starts to look a whole lot different, doesn't it?
Now, I know you might be thinking, that number, it seems really high, but this isn't just some made-up exercise. Let's compare our math to what let's just say a very official organization thinks it costs. An organization that is very interested in getting the numbers right.
Check this out. This is the 2026 standard mileage rate from the IRS, the U.S. tax agency. It's 72.5 cents per mile. That's about 45 cents per kilometer. Now, why is it so high? Because the government's calculation includes everything: fuel, maintenance, insurance, and yes, that huge invisible killer, depreciation. This basically confirms that using your car for business has a real, significant cost. But wait, we're not even done yet. There is another hidden cost we haven't even talked about. The app pays you for the trip, from the moment you pick someone up to the moment you drop them off. But what about all that other driving?
You know what I'm talking about. Every kilometer you drive to go get a passenger, or all that time you spend circling a neighborhood waiting for the next job to pop up, those are deadhead miles. You're still burning gas, your car is still depreciating, but you're not making a dime. These unpaid kilometers just water down your earnings and make your real costs even higher.
All right, let's shift gears and look to the future. We hear so much about this new era of transportation, with self-driving cars and robo-taxis, but when you look really close, you realize this shiny new era is haunted by a very, very old question.
You know exactly how this is going to be marketed, right? The pitch is going to be incredible. Buy this car, let it work for you, and earn passive income while you sleep. I mean, it's the ultimate dream. Who wouldn't want a piece of that?
It sounds amazing. But we have to stop and ask the exact same question we've been asking this whole time. Who is actually paying for the real costs of running that machine? Who's on the hook for a new battery, for a new set of tires, or for the constant cleaning a car that's working 24/7 is going to need? And this right here just nails the risk. If a robo-taxi owner doesn't meticulously calculate their true cost per kilometer, that dream of passive income is going to become a nightmare of passive depreciation. You could literally be watching your expensive asset lose value faster than it earns money. The tech changes, the math doesn't. So this all brings us to the final and most important takeaway. After looking at the past, the present, and the future, it really all boils down to one thing: knowing your numbers and asking yourself the right question.
We have to make a mental shift here. The question you should ask at the end of the day isn't how much did I earn? It's, after I account for all of my car's costs, did I actually make a profit today?
Always remember this. The number you see in the app is not your profit. It's not even close. It's your starting point. Your real profit is that number minus your true cost per kilometer for every single kilometer you drove, the paid ones and the unpaid ones.
And that leaves us with one last thought to chew on. If you're out there driving and you don't know your real all-in cost per mile or kilometer, are you really running a business, or are you, maybe without even realizing it, just slowly selling your car to the platform, one trip at a time?